Hello everyone, I Professor Pardeshi AR. Today we are here discuss about the third chapter of Environmental Engineering 2nd B Civil, that is Theory and Design of Treatment Unit. Okay, in previous lecture we are discussed about the secondary treatment units and biological process in a secondary treatment unit, principle of biological treatment and role of microorganism in a biological treatment process. Also, we saw that the activated sludge process and their advantages and disadvantages. Today we are going to discuss about the new topic, that is sludge volume index, that is SVI. Okay, it is the laboratory test to measure the physical characteristics of the sewage. The SVI means the volume occupied in a ml by 1 gram of the dried solid in a mixed liquor after settling in a 30 minutes, so as to know the quality of the sludge is known as SVI, that is sludge volume index. Okay, the SVI are used to check the quality of sludge in the aeration tank. From the quality of the SVI we can judge the actual quality of the sludge in the aeration tank, and this SVI is calculated by the formula, that is volume of settled sludge in ml divided by MLSS, that is mixed liquor suspended solid concentration in mg per liter into 100, from which we can calculate the sludge volume index, and it shows the quality of the sludge in the aeration tank. Second point is nothing but the sludge bulking and its control. Okay, when the sludge undergoes with the insufficient air supply, low pH, septicity, that is the deficiency of oxygen, and growth of the filamentous organisms, then it is called as the sludge bulking. Now we have to control this sludge bulking by using following measures, like we have to minimize or we have to prevent the filament growth by providing or applying the hydrogen peroxide in it. Okay, we can control this by the extending the aeration period of the sludge. Okay, and by the chlorination of the sewage, that is the disinfection of the sewage, we can reduce or control the sludge bulking, and for the increasing the pH by addition of the lime in that sewage. Okay, from which we can reduce the sludge bulking by reducing the suspended solid, and by the re-aeration of the return activated sludge, due to which increasing the oxygen content in that, and it reduce the organic matter from the sewage, which is helpful for the controlling the sludge bulking. Next point is nothing but the modification in activated sludge process. Okay, it is necessary to design the activated sludge process that is modified because of the lack of operational stability of the conventional activated sludge process. And when in a conventional activated sludge process large volume of sewage is added, then problems are created on a treatment unit. That's why it is necessary to provide a modified activated sludge process. Okay, it includes the various modification in a ASP, that is the step aeration, tapered aeration, contact stabilization, extended aeration, and complete mix aeration. So let us discuss one by one. Okay, this is the step aeration diagram, shows the step aeration process. Okay, in which the wastewater is applied at the several points in the aeration tank, and the return sludge is added at the head of the tank from the secondary clarifier. That is why it is known as the step aeration. Okay, in that the demand of the oxygen is uniform. That's why the aerator, that is the agitation, is provided at equal space during the step aeration. This is the diagram, shows the actual construction of the step aeration. Second one is nothing but the tapered aeration. Okay, it is provided at the higher air supply at the inlet, because of the when sewage is added into the aeration tank, it required the large amount of the oxygen for the decomposing organic matter. That's why the higher air supply is required at the inlet. Okay, the oxygen is reduces at the sewage move towards the outlet. Okay, the demand of oxygen goes on decreasing along the length of the aeration tank. That's why O2 is reduces, the sewage moves towards the outlet, and aerators are closely spaced at the inlet and more space at the outlet. That's why, because of the at the inlet, the microorganism required more oxygen for the oxidizing the organic matter. That's why the aerators are very closely spaced at the inlet of the aeration tank, and it is far away or more spaced while the outlet. This aeration is having low cost and less air required, and it avoids the over aeration in the tank. This is the actual construction of the tapered aeration. Diagram shows in a aeration tank there is a aerator are closely spaced at the inlet of the tank and far away from each other at the outlet of the tank. It avoids the excess of aeration. This is the tapered aeration. Next one is nothing but the contact stabilization. Okay, when the settled waste water get mixed with the recirculate sludge and aerated in a contact tank in about 30 to 90 minutes, then it is called as a contact stabilization. It is also called as biosorption because the sludge flow absorb the organisms and it is separated from the treated effluent by the sedimentation process. Okay, and this return sludge is again aerated for 3 to 6 hours, and this sludge bulk is used for the energy and for the generating new cells. That is the contact stabilization. The diagram shows the actual construction of contact stabilization, in which from the secondary settling tank treated sludge is effluent and some sludge is again added into the reactor, and it is passed through the contact tank by the again aerated. Okay, this is the construction of the contact stabilization process. Next point is nothing but the few important terms which are related to the activated sludge process. Let us discuss one by one. First one is nothing but the HRT, that is the hydraulic retention time. Okay, it is the time in hours for the waste water to pass through the aeration tank. That is the thing but the hydraulic retention time. That means the time which is required to pass through the aeration tank, and how much time that is stay in it can passing time which the sewage in that tank, that is the time is the thing but the hydraulic retention time of that particular sewage. Next one is nothing but the mixed liquid suspended solid, that is MLSS. Okay, it is used to find out the suspended solid in a activated sludge process. Okay, this suspended solid in activated sludge process, we can find the process of sludge volume index, and this MLSS for the conventional activated sludge process is about 1500 to 3000 mg per liter. That is the MLSS. Next point is nothing but STR, that is solid retention time. Okay, it is the time period for which solids are in a systems. Okay, that means the time required for the solid in that tank, that is nothing but their solid retention time in that tank, or it is the time in a days. Okay, the solid or bacteria maintain in a ASB, that is called as a solid retention time. Next term is nothing but the sludge volume index, that is SVL. Okay, it is the used to determine the settling character in a mg per gram of the activated sludge. Next important terms is nothing but FM ratio, that is the food to the microorganism ratio. Okay, it is utilized for the controlling the BOD removal. It is very important for the controlling the BOD from that sewage, and it is depend on the MLSS, that is the mixed liquid suspended solid. Quantity of the MLSS which directly affect on a FM ratio, that is the food microorganism ratio. If higher the FM ratio, lower will be the BOD removal. Okay, the next point or term is nothing but the MLVSS, that is the mixed liquid volatile suspended solid. Okay, the volatile solid means what? The solids which can remove by the applying heat, okay, in the form of evaporation. That is the volatile solid, and it is the mixed liquid volatile suspended solid, and it shows the population size of the bacteria in ASP, that is the MLVSS. Next point is nothing but that is the sludge age, okay. This is time in a number of days and the solid or bacteria be under the aeration condition, that is nothing but the age of that particular sewage or a solid. And last term is nothing but the loading rate, that means the wastewater applied to the aeration tank, that is nothing but the loading rate of that particular aeration tank. Next point is nothing but the sequential batch reactor, that is the SBR, okay. SBR is nothing but the advanced method to treat the sewage, okay, and this can treat the sewage from the both municipal as well as industrial sewage. This is advantage of that SBR, that can treat the sewage from the municipal as well as industrial sewage, okay, and it used for the low flow pattern in which oxygen is introduced to reduce the organic matter, okay, in which the oxygen can be introduced by the diffuse aerator by mechanical means in the SBR. It gives the good quality of effluent, that's why no another treatment is required on the effluent before it discharged into the natural stream or for the disposal in a land. It gives the good quality of the effluent. This is all about the sequential batch reactor, that is the SBR. Some advantages of SBR are there, okay. It requires the less space as compared to the other treatment units. It remove the low total suspended solids, okay. It can remove the low total suspended solid, hence separate unit of clarifier is not required. That means it reduces the overall cost of the construction. That's why it is very economical, and it can adjust it to the aerobic, that is the presence of oxygen, anaerobic in the absence of oxygen, and anaxic condition, that is the when there is a deficiency of oxygen, this SBR can be adjusted, and overall this is economical. So these are the few advantages of the SBR. That's it for today. Remaining part will be continued in a next lecture. Thank you.